Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia. Welcome back to part 21 of our tutorial series on Total War 3 Kingdoms featuring Cao Cao. So last episode we ended by wiping out Liu Yao's faction, and I did read a while back in the comments saying that Liu Yao's daughter is actually a Burnt officer with a Burnt trait, but that is actually not true, or at least from what I see, because from the court screen we can see a few new characters that can be recruited. And this is Liu Yao's daughter, who we could have gotten through marriage, and this is Liu Yao's wife. Both of them did not develop a grudge against us because we kept Liu Yao alive, therefore neither of them took over as the next leader, so we technically didn't wipe out their faction. The wife was probably heir, judging by the fact she had an item equipped. We don't need a herdsman, we have one ourselves. Her traits are okay, but I don't think we need another commander at this point. We recruited Yu Mingxiang over here, and she could even be fired in the future as well as we get better characters. Liu Peimin, the daughter, is 19. She has the clerk background, which is generic, but is pretty helpful with construction time, but we have many other ways to speed up constructions, including using the labor building for a reform. And she has 3 traits here, and none of them are burnt. So I think whoever remembered the daughter being burnt maybe is on a prior patch, or maybe just misremembered. But regardless, if we knew the daughter was burnt ahead of time, we would have set up a marriage with Tao Qian before we declare war, because burnt officers are quite valuable. Now what we're going to do with our main army is keep rolling south. We're going to pick up the salt mine, then we're going to go attack Wang. Wang only has one territory, or it seems to be that way, because we see that the other 2 pieces of his commandery are owned by the Old Turban rebels, which are easy pushover factions for us. Zhang Chao is invading us for sure, and he has Zhang Miao, which is not related. Zhang Miao is not related to Zhang Chao and Ma Yu over here. And we can see from our spying menu that Zhang Miao was actually willing to become one of our turncoats almost for free, but I think we can just capture him, as he does have a prior past with Cao Cao. They both went to school together. That's a historical nugget there. But we'll try to capture them. I believe they might be going to war with Zhuorong right now. They are at war. I think that's where he's going. He's rather weak. He can't beat any of our garrisons, so I'm not worried. On our northern front, we're going to start shifting these to supportive command rebuilds. And also, I think we can end our war and constant sieging with Tao Qian, because he is willing to pay us quite a bit at this point. If we offer him a peace deal, the balance of power is quite high this turn. Even the base value is quite high, simply because we've been releasing him frequently, and we already got one of his silver items, so there really isn't any more we can get from him, considering he's not recruiting the general that we want onto the field. He has his sons on the field rather than Lady Mi, which is the character we would like to capture. So I think we can end the war at 15.5. That is a huge number for diplomatic points. And we can take a peek at if you have any items, which is a negative. And we could throw in a non-aggression pact, but I'd rather not, because in the future we are likely to go to war with them again. So I'd much rather just get payment. We can also ask for land. We do neighbor Xiapi, and we could ask for it. It would be at very, very high cost. Land is very valuable for the AI. We're not going to spend any points for it. We can capture it very easily at any time. In the meantime, he can develop it for us. We can see his economy is actually pretty healthy. We're going to get a good mix of both. We're going to first find kind of a maximum number here. Okay, that's all he has. If we come down to about where the 15 points is, we're looking at 660-ish. If we just drop it by 10 just to get a peek, 0.4 change. Okay, so not too bad. That means we can probably ask for about, let's max it out first, and we'll come down to see when it comes to a reasonable number. Seems like about 0.9, 0.8-ish right here. That was a 0.7 jump for 10%. So let's just go with some even numbers that's easy to think about. If we do 1,000 and say 600, too low, 615, too low, 625, about right. 630 probably is the magic number. Ooh, we can go even higher. Alright, 635. So that's about 7,000 income over the next 10 turns. If we increase this by 100, just want to see the ratio. It's a 0.5 jump, and we decrease that. Okay, so that's not a great deal. So what if we decrease this by 100 and increase this to 35, 45. Okay, so it seems like the lump sum was a bit too high, and we could actually reduce it a little bit right here. What if we drop this by about 30? We're getting to the gray zone where a few points really doesn't matter. Alright, I think we're pretty happy with that. Getting paid a bunch. He will be happier with us for signing this peace deal, obviously. We'll have an ongoing deal. I could throw him a food. Right, that could also give us a little bit more value. Alright, let's offer him 1. Because I'm pretty sure it's like 1.5 right now. Yep. That's a bunch more. 700. See, we hit a point where the increases stop making sense. We're not getting that much more, to be fair. Alright, nice even number. 1 food just to get some 10-turn deals so we can keep track of things. And we can definitely afford the food. That is 7,700 coming back our way over the next 10 turns. Peace deal signed. Now we're not going to get siege anymore. We can build up our town. We can crush the rebels and start neutralizing some of the other rebels spawning in our other cities nearby. I am tempted to swap capitals because we need to do it before we rank up. Now we still have quite a bit of time before we actually rank up, so we don't have to do it this turn. It's never going to get discounted, so it doesn't matter. I'm just worried we might need the fund for other things. Okay, we definitely don't need it for any building. I'm going to cancel Zamba's assignment. We have a better character for assignment. Farmer has a very unique assignment that will help speed up agricultural development. I'm going to give him the weapon because I want him on the field. We'll do the real quick swap. Lady Bian picked up flexibility, so this is pretty much as cheap as our redeployment will be, so we'll eventually get that fixed. We'll have one army taking care of both of these commanderies, probably sitting here, taking care of the rebels spawning in both. And then we'll move another army down here to Huainan to take care of it, and 2 small armies of generals will just guard our northern borders as our main fourth rolls out in the south. So that's going to be the plan. I think they're going to be the army that's going to be sitting between both, and then Huainan's going to get a second army. We used up all our deployment, so we cannot actually recruit anyone this turn. I believe that might be it. We checked diplomacy, we checked espionage, we checked all the buildings, and we can proceed. So let's continue. And almost immediately, our new neighbor that we just met in Baihu Declares War on us. Now this is not a surprise. We looked at his faction real quick. He's one of the bandit factions. He has very small land holdings. He was trading with Liu Yao, so us wiping out Liu Yao definitely makes him mad. He has some decent characters. He has a very lovely wife who has a poison volley ability that's standard on all bandit sentinels. He has a brother with a very powerful build for bandits. We'll try to grab both of them if we can. If not, we'll just wipe him out. We'll acknowledge this. And Yuan Shao is here offering us a payment to buy our herdsmen. Now, a couple things. 2 more turns until the food deal is over. I'm not interested in selling our item. I just wanted to see how many turns until we have to reinitiate a deal with him. So this is just a cancel, reject. Alright, Baihu declares war on us. No big deal. Dongmin and Gaogan goes to war. Heroes Aid. Random event that gives us an auxiliary item. Let's see what we got. Book of Songs. Okay, this gives authority. So that means it automatically goes on either Lady Bian or Cao Cao. Cao Cao haven't had an item yet. This one gives the army some extra morale. He is in the army, and authority will help his satisfaction here. Hopefully increasing to 11. Yes, it does. So that is going to be very helpful. We also picked up a white stallion, so authority horse. She has a bronze one, so we can improve that by giving her a +6 silver one. But who is going to get this bronze one? We could give it to her, even though she is not in our court, or we can eventually trade it away because it doesn't actually help anyone. The issue with horse upgrades is that the higher tier your horses, assuming they're not unique and gold tier, the speed drops for mass, which is great for charging but bad for mobility, which we can see here. Well, actually, between the silver and the bronze, nothing changed, but the standard horse is a good example. The common horse that everyone has much more speed, but less mass. So for charging, it does less damage, but for mobility's sake, it's quite good, especially when we want our generals to kite. So I think I'll just keep this horse around and we'll utilize it as a trade piece in the future. I don't think we need to give it to anyone because Cao Cao has a unique horse, so we're never going to replace this one. You see how this one, the speed goes up and the mass goes up as well because it's a special gold one. We also have a level up on Cao Ren. He's been busy doing an assignment for us. He's done quite a good job. Eventually he will come out onto the battlefield or maybe become an assignment character, just a administrator character, just because he has these two traits already. Regardless, I want him to pick up Tenacity of Steel as early as possible. This is a rather powerful skill, so I think we come and pick up Diligence. That way we can stay pretty flexible where we want to go next. Mainly Tenacity of Steel. It's a very powerful dueling ability. And we've taken care of our court. Our army has to continue to move. It's rather far to reach the salt mine, so it will take us about a turn or maybe even two. If we go on march, we can get closer. We can trespass them if we want. Or we can stand here and heal, and we should have enough movement next turn to reach them. This is still our territory. Baihu is right here, who declare war on us. I wouldn't mind if they march out and come attack us. We can hold against them, and we'll just go make a detour, wipe them out before we go to Wang. Alright, with that set, we finished the war here. They pulled back. He still has the item that we want, therefore we still have to go fight them. Round 3. We got the eunuch last time, so it's not a complete wash. We'll take the night battle, and we have to fight it again to keep him alive, so we'll jump in here real quick. Alrighty, same old map. We've seen this. I mean, this is the third time we're doing this attack in particular. It seems like hiding them didn't stop them from knowing that we're here. Which is actually broken. The AI should not know that we're here. They should not put their spear unit there, which they didn't this time. They put it there last time, which was rather annoying. Alright, we're just going to charge in here. Kill off their infantries first. The ones that are not spear in case we lose our horse, which is a rather easy thing to do. Charge in there. Grab the capture point for some morale debuff. And to fight around here. Chase these guys down. Alright, make sure we don't kill them, but we want to tag them a couple times. Routing 1. Routing 2. Alright. No, don't chase. We'll just end. Alrighty. Let's hope we get the capture or the item drop. There's 2 chances here. And we caught him. So in this case, we captured him, and we can simply execute him for the item, which we will. Pick up income. And since now we have both of their items, and they have helped us balance public order for a while now, you can see they auto-fixed because the siege is not continuing. This one might take a turn or 2. We could speed it up. Yeah, it's not that much. We'll speed it up. Over here, we're just going to chase them down now. There's no reason to keep them alive any longer. We could. It would be another 20 point each turn, but I rather want, I want more rebellions. I don't want them to actually fix. So here, we'll delegate this one now. There's no need to actually fight it. And they'll be automatically wiped because it's the second battle in the turn. She also got captured. In this case, there's no item to be had. We'll release for extra 200 income. You can never hire Yellow Turban characters, so that's our only 2 options. Now, they are done fighting. you can see the low replenishment rate here, and also the low military supply is going to actually make me want to recall the whole army. And next turn, we'll re-summon them onto the field all full healed with the standard 60 supplies that you get on summoning. So that would be a full reset. We'll put them here where they can reach both commanderies in one turn to put down any rebellion that might spawn in both, as we're going to return to a jacked up tax rate, as I wouldn't mind some rebellions in both commanderies. And then there's the matter of this commandery here, which we need to complete our strategy of getting the reform by unlocking the third tier of the labor building. We're also going to cancel Tao Qian right now after that construction comes through, because that was why we kept him here, to speed up the construction, to time it perfectly for the spring of 193. Now he can move on to Danyang, where main development will happen for us, because that's going to be our main income source. Over here we can see the new character we hired. He is a farmer character. Farmers come with a unique assignment called agricultural development that will speed up all green building construction by 2 turns and increase your food production by 100%. Now this is great in combination with the potential's administrator like Yuan. That's 50% cost discount for all green buildings, as well as -3 turns on their constructions. So that is very, very powerful indeed, and we're going to utilize that here. Even though the food production is not that high yet, it will rise as we'll swap this building after we get the reform into a land development building. And then on top of that, we're going to eventually capture this farmland to boost that as well with a livestock farm. So we're going to send him in here for this assignment, just so that he can also pick up experience as well. So that's all done there. Building's done. Let's see, Chen's building is done. Danyang's building is going. Tao Qian will come in next turn. Huainan is done. Cao Cao's army has moved. We'll be declaring war on them next turn. His army turned north, or at least disappeared from view, so none of our concern. A general check on espionage before we end turn. No turncoats. These are no new recruits, so no one new. Diplomacy might be the turn where we have to refresh some deals. Next turn with Yuan Shao, he might approach us during the end turn. Tao Qian is just fresh. 8 turns here, 2 turns here. We're not at war with Huang Shao, are we? He's over here in the north, so I guess we don't see him yet. That's good. We're about to go to war with them. Poor him. Kongzhou, we still have a 2-turn deal. We have a trade deal with them. We're going to flip capitals, and once we do, the trade deal is going to change a little because of the routes, and we might have to cancel some. And Kongzhou is one of those who we might have to do that with. Right, so that's a quick scan. I think we're good with all the factions that we could declare war or peace with, make any deals. Everything's active except for Yuan Shao, and we can proceed from here. So let's just get back to where we can see our army movements and end turn. Alrighty, so this is extremely unfortunate as Yuan Shao has declared war on us. It's not a surprise given how historically this is a conflict in the north, and the game is pretty much scripted to have him declare war on us, even though we have done everything in our power to maintain a positive relationship between us, and we kept the deal alive until the turn when we can refresh, which is the beginning of the next turn. He immediately tore up the deal. He tore up our non-aggression pact as well. So he is acting treacherously here, nothing we can do about it. And we'll acknowledge this and defend, no big deal. So Yuan Shao has declared war on us. And Dongmin is suffering through a civil war. So there's a separatist faction, that's also a scripted event. We have Wang who is willing to join us. So Wang, if you remember, was the administrator, or not administrator, he's the official who triggered Dong Zhuo's assassination. You can see he has an interesting headdress. This is not because he is a unique general, but rather he has a really good armor on him. He has a gold armor that is not named Wang Yun's armor. It's named Enduring Tortoise. So it's one of those unique armors that can be crafted at certain settlements called armor smith. So he has one of the legendary armors that's been crafted. We can take him and remove this armor and place it on anyone we want. He has this armor because he was helping the Han Dynasty for a while. in game. I think he belongs in the Han Empire. I don't know why he left. Regardless, we will definitely hire him, if just for the armor's sake, because a gold armor is worth more than 1,000 gold. So this is a no-brainer, and we'll be recruiting him. Alright, so we picked up an interesting character here in Wang Yuan, and more importantly, we picked up the armor, which we can remove. It will provide the army that has the general in it, the own retinue, will get immune to fear and terror. It will become unbreakable for the general holding this armor, which is actually quite good for defending settlements, as you can have this general loop around, because you wouldn't ever suffer from army loss, so you'll never rout. You get a little bit of charge bonus, but you lose a lot of speed. Well, 5% is not a lot, but still some. I'm gonna keep it on him for now, just because I don't know who else to give it to. We can use the swap trick, because there will only be one copy of this, so it wouldn't be any interference. He also already has Unbreakable on his skill tree, so it's kind of a waste on him anyways. He has a grudge against them, because he dropped Satisfaction. Interesting. He's not terribly useful, to be honest. He's a generic character in the game. We got him just for the armor. Now, what does this war mean for us in the north? We can see that Yuan Shao is all the way up here. He has taken over Henei's settlement here. He's probably gonna sail down south, come attack us here in Chen for sure. And the best thing we can do is obviously set up that unit here that we meant to destroy rebels, which we still meant to use them to destroy rebels, but we probably have to give them a full army now, which is actually not going according to plan. We're probably going to have to make Chen a utility commandery faster than I wanted. So what I mean by that is, first we get rid of this, which is pure income, and we will convert this after we finish. Actually, we can do this next turn, because there's no construction slot that we can use until this is finished. And then we're going to have to recruit an army here. Yeah, it's going to be rough, but nothing we can't handle. We're going to utilize the army that we had. They're going to get resummoned. I like them quite a lot. Sunyo with the night battle, it's very clutch. And Dianwei already has reach, I believe. Yes, so he just needs flexibility, which he will get. And I'm also going to give him, he's our main duelist in the future. So since we have 2 copies of the Stone Pig, the swapping trick is not going to work. We're going to have to spend 1 turn cooldown. Now, she doesn't have a role to play in our faction either. We have way too many commanders, but of the 2, who is more useful to us? That is actually a good question. He has a unique assignment. He might be slightly more useful. He can boost public water by using reserve. That's not good. Yeah, that's not even good. I don't know. We might fire both of them, to be honest. We don't need them. Lady Band's good enough for tax collection. And we don't have that many commanders where we need tax collection. Let's finish up this war. We're gonna properly declare war on them. And hopefully we can reach them. Yes, we can. We are fully replenished, except for Sahoden missing a little bit of health, but that's no big deal. Faction heir and faction leader. 1 item that's not really good. Pretty big garrison, so I'm guessing this is a level 3 commandery, given the size. That's good. That means they upgraded it for us. We saved money there. This army still lacks night battle, but we are going to just fight this one on the field. It's a defensive map again. Salt mines by the sea are basically salt drying fields. It's a basin in the middle. Lots of gates as well. I am not sure if they will charge out with this many men. Usually when the AI feels really weak, they will charge out. If they feel they're decent size, they will try to hold, similar to a walled city map, which is really foolish, but we'll let them be AIs and just destroy them here. Alrighty, we're loaded into this salt mine map. You can see what I mean. It's a little bit of a dip in the middle. It's a basin area. We're on the high ground here, which is rather advantageous for sure. Doesn't matter which gate we pick. I prefer to pick one where there's a certain amount of distance between the adjacent gate. So like if we stay here, this gate will have units come out and they'll try to pull together. It's hard for us to hit them with our trebuchets where they're forced to dense up together. If we fight them here, of course there could be units coming out from this side, but there's definitely not going to be units coming out from that side. So most of them are going to be here, and that way we can hit them with our trebuchets, which still do not have flaming shot. One skill away. We can put them a little bit back. Also, we get the high ground here, and we're still going to hit pretty deep into the settlement. I'm probably not going to have them destroy towers or anything, so it's just going to be trying to hit large mobs of men. I am going to set up our formations a little bit here. I doubt they will get very far if they charge out, so I'm not going to make any major formations here. We're just going to have our troop at the ready. And we have them a 1, take away the auto fire. They're coming out. That makes things a lot easier for us. Yeah, a lot easier for us. Yep. They might have shield units, but not very good against rocks. We're going to try to soften up their shield units and their cavalry here before the archer group comes out. The archer group is not really a big issue, although they're probably going to do the most damage to us. Alright, we're just going to stay here. We're not going to move our shot anymore. We're going to try to kill the ones coming out from behind. These will let our crossbow shred. I'm going to adjust a little bit to the left. Our crossbows are getting in on the action. Anyone willing to duel us? Oh, right. Decline their invitation and offer one yourself. The cavalry is a little concerning. Gonna have ours go answer them. We can't charge too far up. Well, actually, they pulled back because of the arrow towers. So only once they get close enough to us can we actually go attack them. Alright, we should probably have them pick off the range who are shooting us. We'll go into formation to pick up 15% more range block chance and also some charge resistance. And I don't have time to micro anymore, so fire will. I still had the command on those guys. My mistake. I wanted to select the cavalry to come in. It's not exactly hammer and envoy because we can't get the loop around because of the enemy range, but we'll just sideswipe them, which is good enough here. Reform the line. And we'll get the cavalry out of here as quickly as possible after killing their cavalry, which is always a difficulty part. He has ability. They are close relatives, so he will heal and get angry and get a damage boost. But the thing is, he is a strategist, so even if he gets strong... Actually, we'll just pull him back this way through our formations. You can see he's going to get enraged, he gets a heal, he gets a fallen relative bonus, which will boost his attack by 70%, increase his melee evasion. But because he's a strategist, thankfully he's not going to do much with that. Alright, you guys are back. Form a line so you guys can absorb the enemy arrow damage a little bit better. And we're going to send the generals out on a little hunting trip. It's hard for the enemy towers to hit our generals that accurately if we keep them moving, so I don't feel too bad having our generals go out. These are the routed units regrouping. We don't have to hit the enemy strategist at all. He's not going to do anything to us. Stop his charge by charging them, giving our crossbow some time to reload, and that's it. They got wiped, and then we'll outshoot them. Here, target this unit. They're not coming out, therefore they're not going to rout, and we need everyone to rout for him to rout. he can actually chase and get some experience.
Alright, it's over.
Wasn't clean, but wasn't hard. Alright, another faction destroyed. If you want a clean fight and you're not sure if the enemy are going to charge you or not, just have your units stand farther back. Trebuchets have great range, and you notice the AI is not coming out, then move your trebuchet up closer, but we didn't really care that much. We'll occupy here. That's a level up animation, so one of our generals picked up a level. We wiped out another faction. Xiaohou himself is rank 5 now. Once he becomes rank 6, we can get the heavy variant of the spear guards, which are better. We're still going to take this top role. We want him to get patience as fast as possible. We're very interested in capturing enemy generals. And we are going to spend this turn healing up inside this commandery. We probably need to take care of Yuan Baihu first before we can move on to Wang Lang, even though I would love to destroy Wang Lang earlier, but we can't. We have plenty of buffer in terms of economy. We're making a ton more because we're picking up land over here. You can see we're already making 1,615 per turn here in Danyang. Once we have all 3 pieces, if we rank by income here, you can see this is by leaps and bounds our best commandery. And we're going to move our capital here as well. So invest right here. This is now our capital. You cannot change capitals again for about 10 turns. It will cost the same. There's really no need to change if you already picked out, in this case, Danyang's the best one. The advantage is all trade route will come from this. Therefore, we can trade with other naval factions that have some sort of trade port or harbor in their capital versus only being landlocked here in Chen. In addition, once we become an emperor, this will be one of our emperor seats. And emperor seats gives a 100% boost to commerce income. And since we have a harbor building, commerce income is going to be present here as well. Now, it's not the highest commerce income commander in the game for usage as emperor seat. If you could get your hand on Zhangke or maybe Changsha, those are all very good. We don't have access to them since they're farther south. One's over here and one's over here. So we're going to have to make do with what we have. And this is simply the best one we have. So we're going to utilize that right now. We're still at war with a few factions, as we mentioned, and this army will stay busy. Meanwhile, this army will also need to stay busy as well, which is definitely a concern. We have a level up our administrator here. I don't need him to pick up weight. He doesn't have that many administrator skills. Having Unbreakable is great. That's kind of why we went here. Going for flexibility is also decent because resolve means better population growth, but I think we probably want meditation into zeal. And that will make him pretty self-reliant in terms of defending commanderies because of the Unbreakable. Alright, so we have this tier 3 built. Let's execute our plan. Pick up slave mobilization, which is right here. Now all our buildings and all our commandery for the rest of the game will enjoy a 1-turn construction time discount. Very useful. We can then get rid of this building because that's the only purpose it was serving us. I have no intention of actually keeping it. So we're going to demolish this in place. We don't have any building construction discount. We have food production discount. We're hoping to build land development here, but in the meantime, while this is being torn down, we could build this. We have a few options. Well, this is our main development. Let's focus on this first. Cao Cao's gonna come here, do his supervised construction. And next turn, everything will be faster. This turn, everything's still a bit slow. I want to upgrade this to get a 4th slot so we can build a private workshop building, which will increase our income by much more. But before we get there, I think it's wise to just wait 1 turn for the assignment to come in and we don't have to build anything this turn. It will end at the same time, but we'll save money on top of that. Over here, however, there's not going to be any more turn savings. This isn't bad. I guess we'll just pick up that. We can maybe demolish this next turn. That way get 1 more turn of population growth. Yeah, probably. That's probably the best way. And next turn we need to summon the army here. We're gonna use Yue Jin, Zhan Ba, and maybe Wang Yun, just because he has the armor. Yeah, probably some combination there. We'll figure it out. Quick check of spies. No new turncoats. Quick check of diplomacy. We were gonna give Yuan Shao a new deal this turn, but he has declared war on us. So we're gonna have to fight him. Alright, we checked everything. Cao Cao is getting close to wanting to sign a peace deal with us. I have no interest unless he's gonna pay us a lot. And we're gonna save up money for a little bit. We just spent 10k on moving capitals, and then we're gonna go back and give them an army eventually. So let's continue now. And Yuan Shao is declaring war on Kongrong as well. So he's going to war with a lot of us. We have a new daughter. So Cao Cao and the wife, Lady Bian, has given birth to a daughter, Cao Xiangjin. And this is a randomly generated character. We have a new event where we recruit a new talent. Let's see if this is actually a scripted event. Who did we get? No, this is a random event. This is not scripted. We got a generic spawn. I don't hate him, but I don't like him either. He's just wasting a salary. We have way too many characters in my opinion, and we can probably fire some. We also got a random item. We got a new rebel spawn who has a herdsman, which I don't care for. So in that case, we're just gonna delegate with our generals here. Very simple. Night battle, delegate. And we lost big chunks of health, of course. We can use the heal from recall, or we can just have them sit on the field for a couple turns. Now, we are intending to fix the public order issue going forward. We'll get rid of this building. We're going to return tax to normal. Fengcheng is going to bounce back. Chen is going to bounce back. And Huainan is going to bounce back after this rebel group gets cleaned out. Does she have items? She does not. Okay. So we're going to recruit a new army here like we planned. We're using Yuan Huan as the proxy. We want movement on the turn where we summon. And he is as cheap as he will be. He has a full retinue from earlier. And Yue Jin and him doesn't get along. That is tough. But Yu Minxiang does. So I guess they can be in the same army. At least a rebel farming one. Recall. Full movement. Attack. Once again, delegate. We're probably going to keep Yu Minxiang just for humanitarian reasons, since her kid is in our faction, if you remember. They didn't get wiped. All you do is chase again. We get the garrison from the other to help us out. And we'll delegate here. Alright, quick and easy. We'll get rid of all his retinue. There is no need to keep them. Now you might think some of these are rank 2. It's a waste to get rid of them. Actually, it's not, because Cao Cao can recruit us rank 2 units because of the understanding skill. So everyone in the faction, all new recruit will start at rank 2. Once Lady Bian picks up that skill 2, all new units will pick up a rank 3. We're going to give her some combat skills. Will she stand here and be a combatant for us? We're going to let her pick this up, and we're going to fire a few generals. I believe Wang Yun and Min Chun here are both not useful for us going forward, so we are going to save ourselves 300 per turn by releasing them. Just make sure they are not taking any items with them. And there is no one we really want to recruit. Move them back into Huainan. They're going to be taking care of the rebels here. They will be constant rebel because we are building tax collection here. Same thing here. It will eventually You know, when the military crackdown dies, this will have rebels. We'll continue to farm rebels with this army with them right here. Since we have since we have a seasonal deployment available next turn, we're gonna just recall him to heal. We'll keep the other two because they will heal rather quickly, so they don't need a full recall. Seems like Yue Jin can't get out. We might utilize him in an assignment role. This isn't bad, but we could get rid of it and have him come in. Well, whenever Lady Ben rank up again, she's gonna get there. And she'll pick up an extra assignment from nobility, and then Yue Jin can come in and boost income here in Danyang. Or maybe he'll find an army role eventually, but right now he doesn't have one. I could very quickly wipe him out and then go back. We run the risk of them hitting us while we do that. We don't have enough information, but I'm very tempted to just finish them right here. Or else we have to like loop over here 2-3 turns, and then loop back 2-3 turns. I think we just commit. If they take it, we retake it. It's only a level, it's a level 2 now, so it's not a complete wash. Yufan's quite good, and Wang Lang's not bad either, being a unique general. They're in the commandery themselves, so it's going to be hard for us to capture them, given the fact that Yufan would die in a wipe, but I can't do much about that, so if it happens, it happens. Over here, assignment is now active, so this is as cheap and as fast things will be. I could upgrade the copper, and then the garrison will be a bigger one. Well, let's do that first. Even though I kind of want to upgrade the commandery itself. Actually, let's do that. I want a 4th building slot pretty quickly here. We're almost done with this one, which will finish our council missions, and then we can get new ones. Yue Jin's still there, even though I think we can move him now because industry is pretty high. We have 600 here, and then a nice 200 here, 800. That's more than peasantry, so technically he would do better in a Grand Excellency position. He wouldn't feel anything different. We'll just get more income by swapping him, so let's just do that. Commandery is all good, and let's just end turn now. Alright, so the settlement building is finished here in Chen, therefore we finished the mission that we triggered way earlier on Yue Jin, giving us 10% extra industry and satisfaction for all sentinel for the next 5 turns. Lady Ben picked up a duty event, this is from retreat, and just gives herself satisfaction, no big deal. We can ask for more council faction missions, which we'll come back to at the beginning of the next part, as we're wrapped up here. Guo Si is available, he's also very good. We're getting some interesting characters coming into our faction. No enemies coming to our borders. And we're gonna reset up our armies over here. We recalled a few to heal, and then they're missing one. And then our army here will wipe out Wang Lang pretty quickly before we turn on Yan Baihu, as we are gonna pick up the rice paddies over here afterward, because we can't leave him alone for that long. And we'll take up this entire region as we continue to expand. So hopefully you guys enjoy this part, as we are now finally progressing in a normal campaign pace. So let's see what happens next time. Bye!